Hello, and this is the uh, process we went through to get the information and data from Star Online based on assignment for crawling the website. So before we starting just crawling every day the website, we decided to study the website and see how the website saves and retrieves the information and shows in the browser. So we go directly to download the information from the website. Um, the very basic way we could have done, which was we just find the URL of each company and download the information and clean it up and prepare a database. But we, after studying the website, we noticed that we can do it in one session instead of doing daily base. So to starting that, in fact, we need to go to the Market Watch. Inside here, we have this option for going view mode, and when we click on that, we have these categories and sectors of the companies and some other divisions of the companies based on their activities. But before that, in fact, we need to look at this view more and inspect that and to see when we click on this link what happens and what code is really executed. So by clicking on that, we can see that uh, this link is using this uh, JSON files to access the and create the web page. And these JSON files, the first one, in fact, we are going to, which is useful for us, is this sector stock.js, which this which is this one. So if we open this in new tab, we'll see that it has JSON format of the information. And what is important from this JSON file is that this file, in fact, it contains all the information we need from this page, because when we click on this page and go there, we will see all these sectors and categories. So for example, healthcare or energy and technology, we can look at it and see healthcare is already there. This is the healthcare. Or uh, energy, we can see that the energy is already inside the tag, and basically all the information in this page for the categories are stored in this page. So for getting this, extracting this information from the web page, we need to use Python to coding and clean up the whole process. So in that case, we come here and use this JSON file address. This is in fact the sector stock.js we use in the browser. So this is the browser, and if I go back, we will see that if I inspect this, we can see this JSON file is already here, sector stock. So this is the JSON file we are going to use, and this is the downloaded in the browser version. So if I run the code, in fact, I go step by step through the code to see how the code works and gets the information. So for first step is returning the main and subcategories of the website. So if I go inside this crawler cat function, we will see that it calls another function with the past link at the first stage. So the link is already here, so we can see that, and it runs the function. So if I go inside it, we can see it creates a dictionary, empty dictionary, and it uses requests to get information from the internet. in fact downloads that page, and using the HTML from a string, we converting and getting the text from the page, and finally end up the name. So if we look at the information saved and retrieved from the web page, in fact it will divide it into 5 sections. So we can see this 5 section here in the web page itself. So the page itself, when we open it, we can see has 5 sections: main market, ace market, bond and land. So these 5 are real, in fact, are links to those 5 sections, and we go through inside these sections to get the information we can extract and filter out and clean up. So if I go there, and this is the category, and we go one by one inside the category, and we just run the category, and if I stop here, we will see that the category has created a dictionary of the category, which contains one section, main market, and inside it we have healthcare, energy, technology, all these categories inside the web page. So we can see all of them are already here on closed-end fund, and the last one in the first section is closed-end fund. So we already collected all 5 sections names, and main category and the subcategory already retrieved, and we save this information inside in fact the crawler variable. In fact we are saving it inside this application main category. So after that we need to go and get the information from in fact we need to collect the IDs of each subcategories. So for that one we need to find the JSON file which is refers to that. So based on that we need to go here inside this page, and we in fact are going to find these companies IDs which saved inside the JSON structure of the website. So for that one we need to in fact inspect, for example, the healthcare, because when I click on healthcare we see that the list of the companies inside healthcare are generated here. So I just inspect this one and see which JSON files are connected to this will be used for this each of these elements when we click. So here we can see the JSON file already here, and the one we are going to use, in fact we found it, the information we need is stored in the this layout stocks load sectors JS. So here we can see that this load sector JS, this is the JSON file address which will be run based on when we click on this link. So let's see what is inside it, and we can see that there is a lot of information about the sectors, and these informations are what we need in fact. So what we need in fact is the IDs. So IDs are stored in this section, so we need to get this page information and remove all the extra information and just clean it up. So for that one we go into the run to the function step by step. So we just pass the address to crawler, and after that run this function to get the information from that page. So let's run this and go inside the function, and you see that at the beginning we get cleaned input from the link. In fact this function gets the cleaned information from that web page. So we just run it, and we see that this one request gets the information, this one cleans up a little bit, and with start of and end of we are just marking the start index position of the information inside the file, and end of it. So for example, a start will be a start with the function load sector. So if I go and find it inside my JSON file, we'll see that this will be here. So it means that I'm locating the position of this text in this file. So this will be the starting point of my retrieving information, and the end point will be this part. So I just try to select a pick a unique text which is not repeated in the text. So it will marks the information from the beginning, which is here, until the end, which is here. So this area is the my interested area of the information, which contains all these IDs in fact. So after getting this start point and end point, we just start to clean it up based on with using regression, regular expressions, and clean the string. So you can see this is the saved information here. So we just clean it up step by step, and finally we just split them based on the last key inside the remain text, and the clean text will be look like this. So we can see that the information is saved. If I hold the mouse over it and see the pop-up, I can see that this is the information about the ID and also about the address and main transport, which sector is required. So this is the cleaned information I can get from there, and after that I can find IDs of the catalog. So based using this template passing to this function, I will find the IDs. So if I go there and for example keys, if I see the keys, we can see the key will be the main uh, categories, main sectors, and after that I go through inside it and find the start, second and third and fourth position of the information I need inside each line of the code. And if I just run the code and finish the iteration, I will get this information like this, which be the main market, and these are healthcare. So it will be the subcategories, and inside the healthcare I will have in fact the main category and the ID of the main category. So main healthcare in the main section will be main healthcare. This is the ID. So we already got the IDs, and come back and go back to third section of our data. So in this section we are going to use this JSON file, which is refers to our data JSON. So if we go there and see our healthcare, when we click on the healthcare, it will use one of these JSON files, which is this start data.js, which already we are using it. So we just copy this address and bring it here and use this address to get the data we are looking for. So just run it and go inside the function, and the function will get a temporary list of the URLs. So I'm going inside the function to see how it works. So it starts to use this input link, which is our data JSON link, and reads the page, cleans it up, takes the information, and finds the location of the information I'm looking for. So this is the if sector, and this is the unique text I'm looking for inside the file. So if I open the file and see, it will be, if I copy that and come back here and search it, you see that the information we need starts from this position until end here. So where is this? I guess, yeah, the function. This is the end of the text, so that's why I used this unit text to mark up the end of the text, and I retrieve the text and start to clean it up, and finally I split the clean text based on the last key remained, and the clean text will be look like this. So if we open it or hover over the link, we can see that it has the information of the category and also the link, HTML link of the web page we are going to use the JSON link. So these JSON links will be passed to next function, which is find URL based on IDs. So we already have the IDs. And also we got the temp list, which are the links of JSON files. So these will be used in this function to get the information we need. So if I run the code and come up to the end of the function, we will see that the input tick will be contains of the information of the main market, and each main market we have these subcategories, which is healthcare, which the ID is this, and finally the link of JSON file will be that. So with the third function, we already collected, in fact found each category, each category JSON file links. So these JSON files are will lead us to the final JSON file, which contains the data inside the site. So now we got the JSON files and we want to get the company names. We go inside that and we just run the code, and I don't explain all this stuff. I just run the code, and at the end of the function we will see that it takes a little time. It will shows us that we already got the company names. Yeah, and this is input file. You see we still have the whole structure. So this is the main market, and this is the first section. This is healthcare main, and this is the JSON file to the companies list, and this is the list of companies we already retrieved from main healthcare in main section. So for example, Adventa, Health, and these names Harta and IHH, we can see that it already exists here. So if I close that and click on healthcare, we will retrieve these names: Helta, Demta, Harta, IHH, and so on and so forth. So we already got the all name of the companies in each sector and each section. Each page we are going to open will be shows this list. And for example, in this category we have only 4 companies. So after that we can go to the last section, which gets the whole data. In fact, will collects the real values, which will take a lot of time, something like 10 minutes. I just go there and show how it works for some iterations. So it will finds the, in fact, opens this JSON file based on these links. This is the starting link of the web page that finally connects to the which company, and we already found the companies based on the key and based on their location inside the input dictionary we already found. We just iterate inside these and find these keys, use these keys and attach it to them to the link, and finally get the information, save it, and you can see that for the first one I already got the information, and these are the information. If I hover over it, I think I should be able to see that, but no, because it is long it doesn't shows. But for Adventa I already got the information. This is the time starting, time closing, and this will be in the ordered format, which says the opening, closing times, and the prices after that. So if I continue running this code, it will run something like 10 minutes to collect all pages one by one. In fact, it will close all the pages and finally returns the value. And if we go to the bottom, the values will come here, and we need to go. This is the values we already crawled, and we need to just export the values inside the JSON file. So this function will be just getting the information and save the information inside the JSON file named data.json, and Now we have our JSON file which contains the whole information. If I go here in assignment view, I already run the code, so I have this JSON file. If I open it in VS Code, you can see that it just shows the beginning of it. Yeah, so we can see it is healthcare, main healthcare, first one. We can, if I go through, we can see this is the link I already found, and after the link, this will be the code, and after that, this is the data we already collected. So these are the dates, in fact, in the format of, and base after dates, there, there will be the prices. So if I go a little bit more, maybe we can see the, because this is something like 150 megabytes of data, all the data from the beginning of the website history until today are collected. So these are all dates, and these dates are saved in the Unix format, and based on that we can show the information. So these are the information we already saved inside our assignment as a data file, and later we just upload these data into Hadoop, and using JSON format we will separate each information we need and we can analyze it. Thank you.